Hello, this is WellTech AED Defibrillator Production Line Tester DFS360D with external load box demonstration video. And the single channel model DFS360 will be the same. The only difference it will be the absence of external load box, which is not supported in single channel model, as well its test interval is 30-second average. However, the 660D double channel model can support lower to 15 seconds. And the test setup is pretty hassle-free and sharp. You can see only take the device its own, and optionally with external load box, connect to the PC with USB Type-C connector, and a way connect to the AED is through this safe, quick splicing connector. Basically, the operator just needs to cut off the patch, expose the metal part, and connect to the splicing connector to join in the AED DFS cable. And to simulate the scenario for production line, AED is powered up not by battery but the power supply in order to offer unlimited time of test. Also, every test data is valuable to the operator and data scientist. So that's why the file name is also great to be considered. And that's why we also integrate the scanner to scan in the QR code on each AED device to rename the test data with the AED serial number. And in this way, every file name will be meaningful to the operator and data scientist. And let's look at the user interface of our own software. On the top, you can see the serial number of a DFS test system and its external load box, and the current resistance set to 50 ohm as the default for both single channel model and dual channel model. And since we have connected to the external load box, we can select it up to 200 ohm. And in our demonstration today, I would love to do it at 150 ohm. And at the bottom, there's a list for your test sequence. So you can easily build up by selecting the mode and this ECG waveform under test. And hit the start to play. And imagine across different departments, they may use this tester for different purposes, and that's why there will be different test sequence needed. So you can build your own test sequence and save it to a passage like this one example, right? And we can record it. For example, the sequence B for the department. And you can reset it, clean the list, and finally print out the desired test sequence you want today. And here we go. Let's have a test to see how it works out. And before we get started, there's two more things worth mentioning. One is that you might have your own ECG waveform and expect to be input to the system. And that's totally allowed in our software. Will be right here as a customized ECG waveform. As we know from our many clients that they may have cooperation with hospital or research center who capture the first-hand patient ECG pattern for them. So you can load and play in our DFS360D test system, and as well, you with this simulation with your own AED, your AED able to improve the algorithm to broaden the application and compatibility with greater population. And this is one few example. Expression number 5 is a clinical ECG data we capture from our external source. And as mentioning that the file name of each test data is valuable, so we have chosen the barcode reader as the way. Otherwise, it will be default by the year, day, time, also the minute and hour to build the file name. Otherwise, you can choose a manual key in. Imagine you may have each list. You can copy paste the information to rename the test data. And here we go with the barcode reader. To get started, I'll bring the camera with us, and you can see the actual operation. So as just the actual scenario, let's power on the AED after we play an ECG data.
此为成人模式，请立即拨打119。请勿碰触患者。心电图分析中。心电图分析中。建议电极，充电中。
It's charging.
按下闪光的按钮将执行电极。
Instruction give a shock.
电极完成。
Right here, and
现在可以接触患者，开始做 CPR 心肺复苏术。请两手交叠，按压患者胸口，两乳头连线正中央位置。
Now we can pause at this current result to give a good look. So now we have everything we need. On the top is the ECG waveform we just played. And in here, the display we can see is very likely to the oscilloscope. You can see the detail of the waveform. In case you want to see any detail, you may zoom in right here to see the detail. Also, we offer cursor like oscilloscope. We can click the specific range you want to measure right here. However, the most of measurement has been captured as a characteristic point right here. And this is the overall energy received. And all the data viewable on this screen is not just display. You don't need to write it down with pen and paper. You can actually copy paste because we have exposed into 3 files. And this is the button give you the access. You'll get to the test data of the DFS200 that automatically generate in your drive. So all the folder is stored by date. So let's hit to the today's folder, and you will see the 3 file, and name has been renamed as a serial number through the scanner I just did. So the 3 file, the first one is the characteristic points, and also the energy draw and the current residence set. This is for you for documenting. You can just copy and paste, make it into the further on the list. And the second one is the screenshot. And the last one is raw data. Honestly, we offer 100% the raw data. It's very complete. The way to validate it is to of Excel to make a draft on it. So that would be it. So you can scroll down and zoom in and zoom out to see the details. So take a good advantage on the raw data, do even further analysis on it. After all, since it is being displayed like a biphasic defibrillation, in case anyone forgot the characteristic points, we have a kind reminder here to show you the demonstration, also the definition of each characteristic point. And this will allow you to define the horizontal and vertical axle. And right here is the report system. You may export everything you have seen on the screen, and including raw data and waveform, and send to us if you find any trouble and any strange outcome from our system. So our WellTech technical team will look into it and give you feedback as soon as possible. And last is the analysis, which is optional software version. Right here, you can access every test that I've been testing in this PC. So you can use the filter to filter the day you want, and then that'll be it. You can select all of them as about 100 data and access the further analysis. And we have two windows. On the bottom, they are sorted out by the energy received. So each point means test data. You can randomly choose one of them to see and replay what it was, including waveform and also characteristic points. And now you can see there's the three of them are rather lower than the average. So we may want to see the difference between three of them and the rest of them. So we can actually draw an area to display multiple waveforms together, like this. And here is not enough to compare the difference, so we offer this cursor to align them into the same line right here. And even you can use a cursor to actually see the detail. And this is a way we can validate its consistency for the multiple devices of the same model. And also, according to the IEC 611-602-4, there is an endurance test for frequent AED will have to endure 2,500 times defibrillation, and the infrequent AED require 100 times. In this case, it will be related to the aging test, the reliability test, to see the AED's performance after a quite amount of defibrillation tests. So imagine there's a point is being up to 1,000, and the goal is 2,500, and now after 1,000 it's been dropping, failing down to 0. So if you want to see the why, this we can also use the same function to put it in together. And also, actually, the bottom window is already show when it start failing. So we can report back and do further analysis. And here we can also do the same magic to align them together with one line using the cursor. And zoom in again as well. Yes, and this is pretty much about the demonstration of DFS360D with a solar box with a customized easy waveform roll and play, as well as the statistic analysis function. Thank you for watching this.